reached a point where we wanted to get married, didn't have any money. I said, I've been working in Alaska now the last couple of summers. I can get a job up there. In February, let's take off. We'll drive the Alaskan highway, 1,350 miles of gravel, and I'll go to work, and you can go to work, and we will work, we'll make a lot of money right through up until 1st of September or so. Then we'll come back to school, finish up, and then I'll get a job and start to work my way up, because my idea was to go directly to pros, to coach. Now that's a little bit of a pull to get there, but that's what I wanted to do. So we did that. We worked, both of us worked hard, drove the Alaskan highway back down, came back down, got student housing, and basically I finished up part of my master's. She finished up her degree, and I went to work at Grand Forks Junior High School. And then from there, the following year, I went over into Minnesota and got a job there. Ball player, a real good ball player from UND, coaching for Wimpy, Mike Wimpy, hired me, and I got some more experience there. And he left at my first year, and so I was coach for 2 years before I left. Well, then we said, well, Jill, my oldest daughter, I was born in Grand Forks, and
two more.
And so anyway, I decided, well, it's time for me to make the next jump. So that's when I said, Jeannie, we're going to move out to Oregon, and I'm going to work on my doctorate. And so this was a good undertaking, because we still didn't have much money. We weren't making much money. And we loaded up our furniture, had our some friends take care of that. We took off early, drove out to Eugene, and the plan was we'll get out to Eugene about 3 days or 4 days ahead of the moving van, and then we'll move the moving van into a house that we found in that 3 days when we got there. And then from there, we're going to fly to Alaska and go to work. So we got out, the moving van arrived, we had found a place. We wound up, because the people that were in the house needed to move out, we put all of our furniture and stuff in their garage, jumped in our plane, flew to Alaska, and started working. And Gene found a job downtown in Anchorage, and I'd been working various places up there during the summertime. So midsummer, I guess it was August, don't you know, lightning struck. And I had an industrial accident out on a rig. I was working on a rig, drilling rig, and was up on a ladder, about 17-foot ladder, disconnecting an electric hoist, and was careless. It was a shaky ladder, and when it turned over, I fell with the hoist, and the valves that were being taken care of down there that had the straight stems on them were all there, and the handles were all off. Don't you know, I caught one right in the eye. So that was it. And next thing I know, they come down and say, well, we can either chopper you off the top of the platform, it was 7 miles out in the ocean, or we can let you, we can run you out through a bay and drop you down a little bit. And I said, I'll go down the stairs. And next thing Gene knew, back in Anchorage, was they were flying me in to the hospital. Bottom line, of course, I lost my eye. Well, that isn't good for anybody, but it definitely is not good for an athlete. Because you've got a depth perception problem. You know, and sometimes individuals can adapt, sometimes they can't. And you know, you get trouble learning to drive again, etc. and so forth. So, and not only that, I lost part of the money I needed to take care of us when I was going to school. And so I get back to Oregon, and they say, well, we can't let you teach the activities because we test the individuals. You've got to show your skill. You know, you're playing badminton. Can you play badminton now? You know, get a racket and get a shuttlecock. Let's see if you can hit it. You know, they were throwing things at me, and I'm, you know, and throwing a ball, and you know, and so the main advisor for me says, well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll move you into some classes that you don't have those kind of demands. So we'll have you teach wrestling. Well, I have two brothers that were pretty good wrestlers here. One, Gary, did win the state championship, and Ernie was good too. Don't you know, I thought I was pretty good. I wasn't. First week or two I was in there teaching wrestling, I wound up with a separated collarbone on one shoulder. And I'm over at the health center, and 2 or 3 weeks later, I was back in the deal again, and don't you know, I was wrestling another kid, and he separates the other shoulder. So that didn't work out too well. But then I told the advisor I can do something else. I can teach advanced anatomy lab. So I did that, and worked my way through, got my doctorate. Dwayne, in the meantime, was staying in touch. And I said, yeah, Dwayne, I'll go down to California, go to work down there. So went down. San Luis Obispo is a beautiful place, and it's very expensive. And I didn't have any money. So what are we going to do? Well, Dwayne says, here's what you do. He says, go over and join the credit union. Join $5. Join the credit union. Once you get in there, go into the office of the investment officer. He said, take out your loan and I'll sign for you. He said, Stu Chestnut, which was Dwayne worked with in coaching basketball, had signed for him. He signed for me. We figured it was a house of cards. If either one of those guys didn't make their payments and so forth, we were all done. But it worked out, and so I started working there, and I'm trying to remember that. I think probably the main thing that I'm trying to get across is when you're working for something that's really you want, people that are around you, your background, and so forth, is really wonderful and a help. And I've always felt that about this town, that Williston is very exceptional. And I've always loved this place. When I moved here, I thought, I wish my folks would have moved me a year or two earlier. It's just a wonderful people, wonderful place, and I think this exemplifies just that. So, all done well.